the club at the end of the season. I love absolutely everything about this club. I love everything about the city. I love everything about our supporters. I love the team. Love the staff. Love everything. I know that I cannot do the job again and again and again and again.
Yeah, that was this year as well. Taking a look at what Jurgen Klopp obviously achieved at Liverpool. Incredible stuff, Champions League, Premier League, being very much the highlights. Nedum and Jules still with us. But isn't it weird, like the doom and gloom around Jurgen Klopp leaving and legacy and, oh no, look what happened to Arsenal after Wenger, oh, look what happened to Fergie after United. It's going to be a whole rebuilding for Liverpool. Hey, who needs Klopp? He was holding you back, Stephen.
Amazing, hey, how soon you're forgotten.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, it really is. You just said that was this year. I'm like, really?
Yep.
It seems like it was a few years ago.
I know.
Yeah, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult to sit here now and not say that was a good move on everybody's part, because obviously Jurgen had enough.
Yep.
And considering the way he wanted his team to play, it's not a surprise, because if you want your players to be like that, you have to be like that yourself. You have to lead the way in every single thing you do. And so I'm not surprised he was knackered, because Liverpool, too many times at the end of the season, were knackered.
Yes.
And I think a lot of it was down to the way that he wanted them to play and the way they wanted to play. I mean, let's be honest. When Liverpool were at their best under Klopp, everybody looked as though they were having a great time, kind of like they do now, except it's not 100 miles an hour for 90 minutes. And I think that's the key, and that's the difference between Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot. Jurgen wants 100 miles an hour, which, by the way, we all absolutely loved. Arne Slot, he wants it 100 miles an hour when it suits his team, and then he wants it calm when it suits them as well. That's the big difference.
Say that Slot wins the Premier League this season. Does that affect Klopp's legacy?
No, absolutely not. Klopp's legacy will never, ever change. Having won the Premier League after 30 years, he is cemented in the history of Liverpool Football Club. No, it will just be a case of, you always hear me talking about, do we keep Salah? Does he go? Do we do this? I always say, you know what? Back when Shankly kicked this whole thing off, we've had different managers, different players, different staff, different it goes on. And we're talking about, a bit like what we spoke about with Real Madrid. You always think this is going to be the last time.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it works. And Arne Slot will make his own little bit of history, but Jurgen Klopp's piece of history will never be forgotten.
You must be loving this. City struggling and Liverpool doing well, Nedum?
Yeah, I'm having a great time, to be honest, yeah. And couldn't be happier. No, I'm joking. In all seriousness, it's funny as well, looking back at that video of Klopp when he was speaking, I think that was shortly after they played Fulham in the League Cup, I believe it was. And in fairness, I interviewed him, so I thought maybe there's a connection there. Maybe he was just so sick of me questioning him that he thought enough's enough. I've got to call it a day. But for him to be leaving in that manner, and for how that season went, you saw them win the Carabao Cup with the youngsters. They were very much in the title race. They were very much in the FA Cup. But then all of a sudden, the title race goes a bit sour when they lose a game at home. I think it's Crystal Palace, perhaps. And then you look at the league, you look at the FA Cup, and they lose to United. That killer blow, that 4-3, that Amad Diallo goal in the last second of extra time. And then before you know it, the season falls out in a way whereby there's great appreciation for Klopp, but the season kind of took a direction. As Stevie said, they looked very, very tired. So in comes Arne Slot. What's he going to be like? And, at this time, in the UK, I hold my hands up. We're very guilty of having two narratives at the same time. Someone's looking at Ten Hag saying, oh, you can't do it. You can't come from the Dutch league to the English league. Yeah. You'll always fail. And then Arne Slot's top of the Premier League after coming from the Dutch league, and everything's like, oh, these Dutch managers, they really know what they want. They know what they're doing. But in fairness to them, credit to them, they're playing really, really good football. For me, they are the best team in the league at this moment in time, not just points-wise, just from a sheer sort of feel standpoint. And when you talk about the Klopp legacy, I think of Mo Salah, I think of Virgil van Dijk, I think of Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think of all these players in this team, Andy Robertson, all these Allisons, these players have served them so well. So he's actually blessed Arne Slot so much, because as Stevie said earlier in the show as well, we talked about Man City having the experience of winning a league. There are lots of players in this Liverpool team who have got more experience of doing it than anyone else in this league outside of Man City. So I would not be surprised if that experience is leaned on in this final half of the season.